You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu and drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
In the Crease is back. The show about anything that crosses my path returns Sunday, October 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Where are we going this time, Dad?
Great question, EP. Season 3 is back with the 4th annual Nobel Prize show. Physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, economic sciences, and of course, we will find out if the midget from Ukraine somehow manages to win the Nobel Peace Prize. All of this and more on episode 43 of In the Crease, October 15th, here on KLRNradio.com.
Today, this breakfast isn't just breakfast. It might be the first McDonald's breakfast you're having at McDonald's again. This lunch might be a weekly tradition you hadn't had in weeks. And this dinner might be the first one you bought for not just you in a while. Whatever this order is for you, McDonald's will be here to take it.
Get more of the chicken you love with a delicious McChicken sandwich for $1. And for an extra buck, add a refreshing Dr. Pepper. Dining rooms are starting to reopen in certain communities at participating McDonald's. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
The following program will contain coarse language, adult themes, possible flying chonklers, and swinging machetes, not to mention comparing and contrasting the sound between whizzing rockets and dropping bombs, you dumbasses. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to another episode of The Cocktail Lounge. I am your hostess with the mostest, Aggie, and with me as always is the affable, quaffable, ever suave, Brad Slaker. How are you doing this evening, Brad?
I'm doing good. It's the kind of thing where I feel like I'm one of the only centered people left on the planet. Everybody else is just losing their ever-loving mind all around, and it's just, I think it's like me and John Katz are probably channeling the same vibe right now. It's like, dude, you just don't have to.
Yeah, John always has a good vibe. I got to give him that. He's one of my, what I call fish tank people. I can just, if I focus on John, I come down, my anxiety goes away, it calms me down, so I have very few people like that in my life, and I'm glad that he's one of them.
Yeah, he's a very cool customer. He's always
He really is.
he always just seems to have like a very modulated center of gravity when it comes to certain things. I don't. Again, it's my pragmatism. It's my common sense. It's I just have to sit back and say, this is possible if you just no. Okay. You want to ignore the most basic and common solution and then complain about not having a solution. I don't know what else to tell you guys. So, I just sit back and watch it unravel.
And has it ever been unraveling?
Yes. Or was that not a question?
It was more of a statement, a segue statement type of thing. So, yeah. It has, the whole world is unraveling at the speed of, actually, is there anything faster than light? Whatever that thing is, it's that.
I don't think there is, but.
I don't know. Jeff would probably say some quark or something like that. So I have forgotten my physics.
I always thought light speed was kind of the pinnacle. That's the primary measurement, isn't it?
There's always something else. Always.
Freaking scientists are never satisfied.
Never.
It's like we discovered the atom. All right, the smallest particle known to man. Let's take it apart and see what makes it. Jesus.
I'm sure it's a quark. But I can't be sure. But whatever it is, it's that. That's how fast it's unraveling right now.
But now, what's inside the quark?
Oh God, please no. I was told there would be no physics either.
And then dissect it, and then
No.
go out and touch grass.
I love that has taken off. You need to go outside and touch grass. I'm like, not around where I live. You touch grass around where I live, you get ticks, you get chiggers, you get So that's a no. That's a no-go.
Yeah, people always make fun of me because I always go barefoot around here. It's like, but I just wear shoes. It's like, I live in Florida. Yeah, but wear flip-flops. I hate flip-flops.
That was one of it took me by surprise when we met up for CPAC. We would go to, we went to the store to get stuff to cook or whatever. And you were completely barefoot. And I'm like, you can't go to the store barefoot. And you look at me like, this is Florida. I'm like, oh, yeah. I forgot.
I don't think I went in the store barefoot.
Yes, you were barefoot. We were walking somewhere and you were barefoot.
Well, I mean, somewhere else, yeah, but I don't generally walk in establishments without shoes.
Well, wherever it was that we were going, you were barefoot. And it took me by surprise because I was like, well, I got to get my shoes on.
Yeah, we were probably, I don't know, heading over to the pool area or something.
Oh, probably that was it.
Why wear shoes to the pool? That makes zero sense.
I don't know. I wear slippers to, wear sandals or whatever to the pool and whatnot. I mean, it's from my dad. My dad, when he was young, he would go swimming in the town river, and he got bilharzia. And once you catch it, it never goes away, right? So he was very adamant that we always wear shoes. In the house, outside of the house, even when we went swimming, he made us wear shoes.
Huh.
So it's been ingrained in me like, oh, I'm going outside, I need to put shoes on. I'm going to the pool, I need to put shoes on. But I didn't, obviously, I won't go into the pool with shoes on, but I will if it's a river, because that's still in my head.
Well, they do make river shoes.
Yes, I do have a pair.
I've had pairs of those, but that was when I was kayaking, and you need, something to grip when you're in the water, like if you're portaging or something.
Right.
So that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, here you don't really need them. And then I'll have people every so often, you're going to step in something. I don't live in San Francisco, okay? The sidewalks aren't covered in shit and needles here. You can deal. I mean, everybody wears flip flops and slides and that. I hate them. I hate the way they look. I hate the way they feel. It's just like, screw it. I don't need anything on. It's like I have to wear shoes to appease other people.
No, I mean, that's very popular around here too. Most people go barefoot. In South Texas, it's pretty common. When I lived in Houston, it was pretty common everywhere. So it's not a big deal. It just threw me for a loop. That's all. It was unexpected for some weird reason. I forgot I was in Florida. That had to be it, because I can't think of any other reason why I would be, taken aback by it.
Nope, I do the Florida man thing. Like, if we can go to the beach, I don't wear them. And, everybody else is getting scalded by the sand and all that. And I've just built up the resistance.
Oh, no. Sand? No. I have to have sandals on. And they cannot be flip-flops, because I can't wear flip-flops because it bugs me.
Okay, but they're called sandals. Sand is going to get in them.
I navigate well enough that it doesn't. Okay.
Okay, then.
No, it's just I have delicate feet, Brad. Okay. Anyway, it's not the subject of the show.
Yeah. Well, I guess we could talk about that as opposed to talking about our football teams this past weekend.
Yeah. You know what? It's like it didn't happen. I'm just not even going to acknowledge that it happened.
Yeah, I mean, Florida had Miami had one of the highlight games coming into the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
ACC rival, both top 20 teams squaring off. Miami and North Carolina. It was actually a great game for a half. Miami looked pretty decent. Defense was doing well. Like their quarterback is, great. They're expecting him to be like a top 5 pick in the NFL next year. And our defense was just badgering the living hell out of him. He couldn't do much. 17-14 lead at the half. Felt pretty confident. Our offense was clicking. Looked good. And then all of a sudden, our run defense disappeared. Their guy got like about almost 200 yards on us. We had the number 1 rushing defense in college football before Saturday.
Yeah, before Saturday.
And it's like by the end of the third quarter, it was almost a blowout. I mean, Miami came back a little bit and got a couple late touchdowns. And our quarterback, Taylor Van Dyke, had a pretty great game statistically, like, almost 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. You're like, damn, we must have smoked them. Nope, get your ass kicked by 10.
Well, we also suffered a loss. And I admittedly, I don't mind losing to Tennessee. I have an affinity for Tennessee. I think Tennessee is a great school. However, I have noticed that their fan base has gotten a little too harsh of late, the past few years. Yeah.
I only say that because I got a couple of our friends are from Tennessee and they're huge Volunteer fans.
Oh, I'm like I said, I'm a big fan of the school. The football team is great and everything, but I did notice a few things that the fan base was kind of like lacking in. This is the same fan base that actually threw bottles at one of our players a couple of years ago.
What? Those sons of bitches?
Yeah, which is considered extremely not right, And they also, we had a team member that was injured on the field, and they booed. And I was like, I'm not supposed to boo. I mean, I get it that sometimes you think that the player is going to be faking it. Well, this isn't soccer. This is a full contact sport. So I seriously doubt any football player that goes down is faking anything. It may be something small like getting winded, wind knocked out or something like that, down to an actual fracture or torn muscle or tendon or something gravely serious like that. So for them to actually boo, that took me by surprise. But then, when he got up and he was placed on the cart and he was in obvious pain, and I forgot what the player was, but he was in a lot of pain. And you could tell because the cameras were on him and he was just like, his eyes were closed and he was doing the Lamaze breathing method, type of thing. And so I knew he was in a lot of pain. And most of the time, the crowd will actually clap when a player, regardless of whatever team he's on, gets escorted off the field with an injury. Not this time. There was absolutely no clap.
Do that as a sign of support and good sportsmanship.
Exactly. It's good sportsmanship. You never want anybody to get seriously hurt out on the field. I mean, that's the last thing that I would want for any team, for any member of this, sport. I mean, I was really shocked. It's like, I looked at it, it's like, they're not even clapping. The only clapping that you heard was from the guest section, which was really, really tiny. If anybody watched the game, they had a beautiful view over the stadium. And it was so cool because everybody was wearing either orange and white. And depending on what section you were seating in, you were told to wear either white or orange, right? So it made the checker pattern, except in one section, which was the guest section. That was all maroon.
Yeah, they do the checkerboard pattern is one of their.
Yeah, they had
everybody
really
sitting
cool.
accordingly too. So you're, whatever section you're in, you're either white or orange, and it has a nice effect. I'll give them that.
Yeah, it does. We can't quite do that effect because one whole side is general admission. So we can't really do it. There was only a couple of times where we did it at Texas A&M, and that was the red, white, and blue out. And so the third tier was red, the middle tier was white, and the bottom tier was blue. So to reflect the colors of our flag. And that was done twice, I believe. Once was the first game after 9/11, and the other time was on the anniversary of 9/11. So, and all of the proceeds from the sale of the shirts went to the Beat the Hell Out of Terrorism Foundation. Yes, we actually call it that, Beat the Hell Out of Terrorism. We actually have a memorial on campus commemorating that tragic event. And we do have a foundation where all that money goes to widows, orphans, people that volunteered and got sick or were injured, that kind of thing. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I was kind of surprised that Tennessee was acting in that manner. I was like, you're not the Philadelphia Eagles. Right? I mean, I expect it from them. I don't expect it from a school that has a very solid history. They're called the Volunteers for a reason, So yeah, I wasn't so much disappointed in our loss as I was in the way they behaved. I kind of expected more.
So you went all Karen on them, is what you're saying?
No, I kept my opinions to myself until my brother-in-law piped up. Well, yeah, my brother-in-law piped up about the whole, hey, we beat you guys. And I said, yeah, but did you notice that you guys were not behaving like really good sportsmen people? Sports, you were not behaving with decorum is what I said. It was like, what do you mean? I said, well, it was you guys doing the booing when our player was down, and you guys didn't even clap or this stuff. And he was real quiet. He's like, yeah, that kind of bothered me. I was like, yeah, it should bother you.
This is Karen. Where's your section usher?
You know what? I almost cut my hair and did it, but no.
Well, I will say I did have at least one dose of encouragement this weekend because the Miami Dolphins had a damn good game. It was kind of hilarious. I mean, it was playing the winless Panthers, and they went down 14-0.
No.
It's like
what?
The first period. You're like, what? Who are these guys? What's that? someone with that Irish MMA photo. Who the fuck is this guy? So yeah, and I'm over at the tavern watching with everybody, and there's like rumblings like, oh my God, what's going on? We're gonna lose to overseas. It's like it's the first quarter. It's Miami. Pump the brakes, cool your jets, calm your tits, whatever you got to do. And yeah, then Miami promptly went out and rattled off 35 straight points. And they ended up winning 42-21. It was just ridiculous. I mean, they are about as close to a live team performing like they're on Madden. Just, I mean, at any point in the game, boom, they could just rattle it off. And Tyreek Hill is just stupid as far as speed goes. I mean, he'll do an end around sometimes, and they hand it off to him, and he's just getting the ball from the quarterback, and you already know he's going for 30 yards. Just you see just what's set up on the field, and okay, he's gone, and see ya, blur. He just, he'll catch 30, 40-yard passes at whim, and Waddle is doing his thing as well, second receiver. And we've got a third one we just picked up free agency from Chicago that's going to bolster things even further. So our running game, it's weird to see us with a running game. Like a Chain from Texas A&M, he got hurt, though, last week. He's been just out of control for a rookie. And in his place, we've got Mostert, who's 32 years old and just running like he's a first-round draft pick. It's weird.
It's almost like CERN. Somebody kick-started CERN again.
Oh, no, it's just we got Mike McDaniel, the relatively new head coach, and it's just a new attitude. It's a new scheme. The way he runs this offense is like we haven't seen probably ever because it's just that unique. And then literally it's like watching somebody play on Madden. It's just, they could be on their own 20-yard line, 15-yard run here, 10-yard run. Okay, we're going to throw downfield now, touchdown. It's just stupid, and it's fun. But they're playing, it's going to be a real good game this weekend because they play the Eagles. Probably two of the top teams in the league squaring off, as they say.
Yay.
And it's pretty close. I mean, Miami's on the road, and the Eagles they're favored by less than a field goal.
I'm not going to lie. I have no dog in this fight, no skin in the game, but I really want the Eagles to lose. It's just me. I don't like their fan base. It drives me crazy.
The compelling number here is the over-under is 52.5.
Wow.
Because either team could almost score that much on their own. It just depends on how things are. Also, probably depend on the weather. That's probably going to be the bigger indicator of anything.
Oh, so is it in Miami? I guess it's in Philadelphia?
No, yeah, it's in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
But
well, that sucks.
Veteran Stadium, it's outside, so yeah, if it's cold and rainy, that could affect things.
Yeah.
I'll be looking at
I've been
Friday.
I've been to the link, so yeah, it sucks there. I'm sorry. I love going to Philadelphia for the historical significance, all of the historical sites. That was like on my list of things to do before I die. But outside of that, I can't stand that city. It just gets on my nerves.
I'm the same way. Like if I went to Philly, it's like, I want to see Constitution Hall and a couple of other landmarks and stuff. But beyond that, yeah, no, I'm not.
I went to visit a friend, and he took me on a tour, and he's like, and that's the link. And I'm like, okay. So he's like, what do you mean? So, and he literally drives in there, parks the car, says, we're going on a tour. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care. He dragged my ass in there for 2 hours. He's so enamored of that place. And I'm like, it's just a football stadium. It's not a big deal. And I'm not a fan of the Eagles. He says, I know. But at least you're not a fan of the Cowboys, and I can forgive anything. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, best thing to come out of that city is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But and the Constitution, fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say there were some things that were done, but I believe wasn't the Constitution signed in Faneuil Hall in Boston? But I could be wrong. I don't remember. I know it's there.
It was crafted in Philly. They had the Constitutional Convention there. Lasted like I always love reading the history about that, only because I'm picturing a bunch of 40-year-old colonials who don't bathe in the heat of August in a wooden building with no air conditioning, and they made a point of sealing the doors and windows while they were convening.
Yes. While they were committing treason, by the way.
That's a saucy little hot box I would not want to be involved in for
These
any
men
duration, let alone months.
But you got to admit, the men had balls of titanium. They knew they were committing treason and went ahead with this. They forged on, and they.
Oh yeah, I mean,
they did a pretty fucking good job.
Let's just be honest about it too. These would be people our contemporary press would describe as insurrectionists.
Yes, this is true. I mean, let's face it. The second thing they wrote was, "Go get a gun."
Yeah. The other thing the media would be bitching and moaning about.
Right?
Gasp.
Oh man, that was funny. I heard a comedian, and he's like, that was the second thing that they wrote. Get a gun. Like, first thing, you can say whatever you want, but you may want to get a gun.
Say whatever you want. Here's your piece.
But get a gun.
All the rest of it, maybe we'll get around to that later. But those are the two.
Yeah. So
that cracks me up, though. Is that it's also too when the press loses their mind about January 6th and oh my God, they desecrated the Capitol and it's fucking government. It wasn't a church. Okay, we own that building.
Well, the thing is, the Capitol building has actually been attacked before with bombs, and it's almost like the media has never brought that up. No one in the media has ever brought that up that I have seen, and it's that's because it would serve to completely destroy the narrative, So,
but that's I point to this every so often in my columns and such too. It's like one of the real big flaws with our media is that
one.
Well,
I know.
I said one of. As the scroll goes rolling across the floor, but their job is what? They're tasked with holding the government accountable. Right, that's what they're supposed to do. Constitutionally scripted, it says that. Go after those sons of bitches. They revere government now. Like, don't you dare badmouth. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that about the president. Oh really? Sit down. I got a lot more coming. But it's like, oh, don't you even besmirch the good name of Joe Biden? Okay, got it. Because I just endured 4 years of you calling the last president Hitler on a daily basis. So suddenly the presidency is sacrosanct. But they just love government. What was it? It was yesterday, day before? The Associated Press was talking about Jim Jordan because he's up for House Speaker. Oh, man, it'll be dire because what'd they say? He's going to be a right-wing appeal merchant and will start targeting various aspects of the government to shut down. It's like, stop it. You're getting me aroused here. Quit it, AP.
Stop. I can only get so aroused.
Like, I wasn't aware you guys were working for his PR team, but well done. And that was an in-kind donation. Wait, he's going to shut down more of the government? Good.
I'm okay with this. I'm like, I'm already on board. You don't have to sell it to me anymore. I mean, seriously.
And like when Ron DeSantis gets up and like enumerates the portions of the government he's pledging to close down if he's elected. Department of Education, gone. It's like, can I elect you now? How do you go? Do it.
That's the one that really wigs a lot of people out. Oh, how could you do that? The Department of Education. It's for the children. You lost me. It has never been for the children. It's never about the children. It's about accruing power and dumbing down society so that you can keep that power. That's what it was for.
Yeah, I mean, the schools should be run on a state and a local level. Why do you need a federal Department of Education?
You don't.
I mean,
You never have.
I mean, just look at Randy Weingarten, and there you go. There's all your troubles on display in one individual, encapsulated in her.
It was funny because I was down at my sister's for the eclipse this last weekend, and she lives in the house that was 5 doors up from mine. So I got to see my old neighborhood and everything. And as I'm driving on the main street, I noticed that where there used to be an old house and an empty field, they were basically waiting for the woman to pass away so that they could sell the land and make it a commercial place. In its stead is a charter school. And I was like, I never thought I would live to see the day where there would be a charter school in this area, because the schools have fought against having a charter school in the area for a very long time, and I could never understand why. As soon as this sucker went up, people wanted to get on the wait list to put their kids in the school. They were beating a path down to the door that was not even erected yet. And it's still, it's K through 8, and the wait list is still very, very long. And I think it opened like last year or something like that. So, that should tell people that, yeah, we want to homeschool. We want other things. We want the option to get out of the public school system and have other options. And the politicians don't happen to agree, I guess. They don't listen.
Well, it's just, it's all tied in together, though. The love of government, the love of federalized education system, government education. It's like, you're not selling me at all here. Sorry.
No, I got into it with my cousin a long time ago. She's what we would call a welfare queen. She really is. And I had gotten into it with her, I would say about 10 years ago. And I asked her straight off and said, what has government done for you? And she starts this litany of the money that the government gives her. And I said, no, that's what I do for you. Because the government takes my money and gives it to you. But what has government done for you? Truly, all they do is they steal on your behalf. That's it. And
yeah, just look at the operations. The government can't operate a train system.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden's in love with the trains, and yet if you look at Amtrak, they lose tens of billions annually. They're always subsidized. The post office is a complete boondoggle. Oh, but where else can you have a letter delivered to your home in 3 days? It's like, I can order something on Amazon and it's on my doorstep the next day.
Yeah.
So,
and,
when you get to that level, come back and talk. It's just that, that unquestioned affection for the state. No. Like,
it's kind of weird.
Who's at NBC right now? They have a countdown timer for how long we've gone without a Speaker of the House. How in living hell is your life affected?
They have a countdown timer for that, but they don't have a body count for what's happening in the Middle East. Like they used to. Remember when they used to?
Well, yeah, it's who's in office. There you go.
Exactly.
When it's a Republican, today's death call is... And the second a Democrat got elected, we're going to stop that now. That's been unseemly.
That's
for
not nice.
8 years. For 8 years it was unseemly, yeah. But today it's not. Oh, okay, got it. No, it's just complete horseshit. It's And just look at the way they treat the Middle East. This whole fiasco, this ghastly thing taking place in Israel right now. You know, I'm laughing all day at people on here, just in the media. Oh, Israel should have a proportional response.
I'm good with that.
Like, well, one,
we discussed this.
What are they responding to? Just out of curiosity, are we going to get around to what's provoking it? No. Okay, all right. We're going to gloss over 1,300 deaths are counted so far. Got it. Yeah, and they're like, yeah, but they're sitting rockets in the Gaza every day. That's not. Guess what has been happening from Gaza every single day since October 7th? They have not let up sending rockets into Israel. So guess what? This is proportional.
Mm-hmm. And now you have, this horrific tragedy with the hospital, where it was a misguided, misfired rocket from Hamas that struck the hospital. But before that news could be, verified, by the IDF and Israel, and they showed the proof and they have the receipts for it, all of the journalists went with, Israel just bombed a hospital.
Yeah.
And they took off with that. And now having to, it's such a hard job to actually educate the people on what actually happened, because they already believe this because that's what the media said. And it reminds me of the Terror Offensive and Walter Cronkite, but on a much larger scale. So, but now you actually have the capability to confirm or deny the rumors, even after they've been let out by the media. And so, people are out there, it's like, man, this is going to damage the media. And I'm like, the media has done all the damage already. This is not going to touch the media at all. They're not going to get punished by this.
Yeah, you don't want to sully the good name of that prostitute.
Yeah, so I'm like, whatever.
Well, who was it
and
the other day? They were posting some drone footage from the IDF, and they were showing the rockets launching from Gaza. Mm-hmm. And they pointed out, they're like, okay, here are the rockets, here they come, and they even said, go back to the beginning and watch where they're launching from. They're surrounded by homes. They're sending rockets up from residential areas intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
They're preventing their residents from leaving. They're roadblocking people, keeping them inside of Gaza.
Yep.
And, Israel said, listen, we're coming in. You guys want to clear out. They're not letting them. So, and then another one of the news sites, I think it was Sky News today, they're like, the Hamas Authority has reported now that 497 deaths have happened from Israeli rockets. It's like, wow, okay. And what about the hostages you have? We don't have any idea how many hostages we have or may have been killed. Hold on a second.
What?
A rocket can hit a building and you have the exact occupancy rate pegged, and yet the actual hostages that you took and you possess and you don't have a figure for that. Got it. And this is Sky News taking Hamas at their word.
And this is a problem. Nobody is willing to verify anything. They just take Hamas's word. And I'm like, you realize Britain still, I believe, classifies Hamas as a terrorist organization. I'm pretty sure they do.
Well, the USA does. Canada does.
So why would we take the word of a terrorist organization without verification from a different source?
Yeah. No, and that's been going on across the media, too.
I mean, they keep screaming about the whole water situation. And I'm like, Israel only provides 10% of the water to Gaza. Hamas is responsible for the other 90, which is collected via other wells, and it's purified and desalinated. So why are they complaining about Israel shutting off the water? What happened to the other 90% that's available to them? Nobody's asking that question. They just assume that Israel controls all of the water to Gaza, and they don't. They never have.
Well, I can explain it.
Of course you can explain it.
Because I saw a video where Hamas workers were digging up pipes from the ground and then taking them to a warehouse or a bunker or such and retrofitting them and cutting them down and using those to launch rockets.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't propaganda. Well, technically it was because it was video from Hamas. They were showing what they do. So then they're supposedly screeching about how inhumane it is that our people don't have water. It's like, well, why don't you have water? You get billions of dollars in aid from the UN and other sympathetic countries. What are you doing with it? Oh, there it goes, hitting the Iron Dome.
It's almost as if the media is, no, I take it back. The media is actively trying to gaslight the population, the global population, as to the happenings that are there.
This actually just took place. I crack up because of the blatancy of this. So since the attack on Israel, so many news organizations will not use the term terrorist for terrorist activity.
And yet that's what they are. Okay.
And we're gonna say militant or freedom fighters or other neutral terms because we don't want to take sides. And if we call them terrorist,
I'm okay with freedom fighter. You know why, right?
Because they're fighting against freedom?
Yes, exactly. They're fighting freedom. That's exactly what the name says.
Yeah. Not a freedom for fighter. But one of the bigger outlets that was taking this not terrorism charge was the BBC. They declared it. We are not going to call them terrorists because this is going to cast the other side as victims, and we want to remain a neutral bystander on this. So, and I don't know, it's like 3 or 4 days ago, one of their reporters actually quit over this. They said, if you some bitches can't even call them terrorists, I'm out of here. I can't even abide this anymore. And was it yesterday? There was a shooting in Brussels.
Yes.
A Muslim war sympathizer shot 2 Swedish soccer fans dead. And the BBC said it was a terrorist shooting. So, killing 1,300 people, butchering families in their home, setting cribs on fire with the baby inside, that's not terrorism. 2 people die in Belgium for somebody that supports Hamas, and it's terrorism. So basically, the only thing I can come up with is the only difference here is who the victims are. If they're Swedish, then it's terrorism. If you're killing Jewish people, it's not terrorism. Is that what the BBC is telling us? Because that's what it sounds like.
It is exactly what it sounds like. They have always believed, and they have stopped short of saying it, but the Arabs, the Palestinian so-called Arabs that are there, Hamas, all of the terror organizations do believe that Israelis are vermin. They're even lower than women. Okay, so the dehumanization of an entire ethnic group, that has never gone away, and it's weird because it's always targeted to mostly one ethnic group, but it has never gone away. It's always disguised as something else every time. And so you see it in the media where they stop really short of actually going down that path because they know the moment that they do, they've exposed themselves with what they are. And they're trying to to keep that cloak of legitimacy. But it's very telling, with all the gaslighting that's going on.
Well, it was like less than a month ago. anti-Semitism was all the buzzword in the media.
Mm-hmm. And now you can't say it.
Oh, dude, that's anti-Semite. You can't do that. Oh, Donald Trump is an anti-Semite. This one's an anti-Semite. You can't. Oh, these anti-Semitism's all over the place.
The same people that were saying those phrases, are the same people that are quiet about them today, and that the ones that are supporting the other side. So you know where the anti-Semitism is. You can see it whenever you see the way people are posting. The way some, pythons are, posting their, I'm just asking questions. Leave my red hair alone. Man, I bet she took out her frustrations on her pies.
I think one of the worst examples.
I don't take joy, but I am taking a lot of joy out of this one. I really am. And I know I'm going to go to confession on Wednesday, I swear.
Well, what did she say? Because I'm blocked. I can't.
Oh, no. She went insane with the whole does blood stain pink shit. Oh,
I did see that part. Yeah.
Yes. And then she deleted all of that. And then she was like, I'm a big defender of freedom. I'm always asking questions. I just want to get to the truth, the answers and all that stuff. And I'm like, no, it's too late. You burned your brand to the ground, and we all watched it happen, because there's no way that you can say my degree is in the health industry or health sciences or whatever it was that she was calling it. And I'm like, I used to work in a hospital, and I used to see MPAs coming in and out, and blood, depending on where blood soaked or whatever, it was different shades. It was never the same red. And it was amazing to me to see, because I went to my Barbie account so I could read her stuff. And I was like, this woman is crazy. She is legitimately crazy. There is no other excuse.
What she was complaining about was like a kid's, I don't know, coloring book or coloring mat or something. And it had a pink hue to it. However, it was on the floor next to a massive crimson bloodstain.
Mm-hmm.
So to even go down this road, you'd have to say that.
But that was just the culmination of her batshit craziness, because she was also bringing. They talked about how that sad, horrifying picture of the burned baby was a puppy, according to AI, and according to AI, this other picture was not human. And all this stuff. And they kept saying that Ben Shapiro was wrong with all the pictures that he was posting. And I'm like, he's got skin in the game, okay? He's not going to be using subterfuge or anything. He is actually going to tell you what's going on. I have friends that have not yet heard from their relatives. And this has been going on for a week. And to see this woman saying these things, I was beyond appalled. I really was. For a so-called libertarian, she was pretty fascist to me. She was acting
it's just
like
so stupid, because
fascist.
There's no shortage of it. 1,300 people have died. We've seen body bags everywhere. We've seen the footage from
but according to her, that was all, propaganda.
Hamas filmed themselves doing this.
That's still propaganda, according to her.
They have body cam that they're wearing. They've shot propaganda films of them shooting and butchering Jews. They've given us the evidence. That's
how batshit this woman was. I mean, she was really, and it shows a lot of the anti-Israeli feeling that a lot of people perhaps you didn't know they had, because they never actually showed it or anything, or they never had an occasion to express it. But, our beloved Jen Homestead, tweeted out, after everything, did you all lose any friendships, or did you, are your friendships still solid? And I was like, I'm glad to say that after this latest conflict, this war that's going on, I was pretty solid with all of my friends being the same thought and wavelength, where it comes to Israel. So I didn't have to suffer any cut ties. I did suffer the loss of friendships, but it wasn't because of that. It happened long before that, so I can't say that it was associated. As a matter of fact, that particular friend I know is still on the side of Israel, so that's not what caused our rift. But I mean, I know people that are like, I had no idea that people that I considered to be really good friends felt this way. And they cut them out, went through and, blocked and blocked and blocked and cut them out of their lives. And this happened in all sorts of social media. And it was really interesting to see that we finally have found a line that people will not cross. It was really, from the point of view of studying people, this was, I cannot tell you, I could write a paper and get my PhD on this because it was incredible to watch. It was incredible to witness.
Yeah, it's bizarre to watch people tie themselves up in a knot trying to justify stuff or trying to explain away things. Mehdi Hassan over at MSNBC. He's of the trio of pundits over there that have been under focus in the last week or so. It was Ali Velshi and Ayman, what's his last name? Moyeldin. The three of them were just like the weekend of this attack. They were just all pro-Hamas. What did Netanyahu do to bring this on? Israel has been provoking this for, that kind of crap for a couple of days. And it got so bad that, when the war broke out, all this is taking place. All the news networks exploded with ratings. People racing to find out what happened. And, Fox is up about 42%. CNN had a 17% bump. News Nation even, that nobody watches, like 50% jump. MSNBC lost 1/3 of its audience from the week prior.
You're kidding.
Because they're like, holy crap, I can't believe this happened to Israel. And then you got Mehdi Hassan. Yeah, the Jews suck and had this coming. And he's like, dude, really? Now, all three of those names, by the way, come from Al Jazeera. They're all Al Jazeera veterans.
No.
But it got so bad then a couple days ago, it was reported MSNBC has actually pulled all three of them from hosting duties. Like they still appear on certain shows as a guest here and there, but I think they took Ayman off of his show entirely on Sunday. They preempted it. Velshi stopped hosting a couple of hours, and I think Mehdi Hassan was going to sit in for someone, and they were like, nope, because they didn't want to start the show. How you doing? Sitting in for Joe Reed? It's me, Mehdi Hassan. Click. So, all right, we'll put him on the bench. We'll bring him in like the 40-minute period of the hour. That way, we already get the ratings, and okay, it's done. So this news story comes out of Chicago. A landlord apparently attacked a Palestinian family with a knife, attacked the mom, and killed a 6-year-old boy. Mehdi Hassan is losing his mind over this. For one, I don't understand this. The news report said that this landlord listened to talk radio. How does that even factor into a news story like this? Like, how does that come up? I don't even wrap my head around that. It's like, so what do you think led to this 6-year-old dying? Well, we know the guy listened to radio a lot. So there's Mehdi Hassan. He's on with Joy Reid, so you knew this whole show was going to go sideways in the ditch. Claiming conservatives told him to do this.
Oh, for God's sake.
No names are given, by the way. No show reference. No transcript,
Nothing.
Of course, is referenced by him. It's just, conservatives made him do this. Yeah, I know that show. I listened to it the other day where they were talking about the new Taylor Swift movie. And by the way, if you have any Palestinian neighbors, kill them. What is he thinking here? So he says this, but then he's truly outraged at this death. And he says this to the camera. Who in their mind looks at a 6-year-old and thinks, I'm going to go kill him? I'll answer the question for you, Mehdi Hassan. It's Hamas, because you just spent a week defending that exact behavior, you dumbass. They killed kids. They killed babies. They walked into homes, walked into a bedroom, saw a kid, and killed them. The people you defended did that. I mean, it's just, it can't even be obliviousness, or this is just outright garbage lying. That's all this is. How can anybody that defended Hamas for over a week get this mad about somebody killing a 6-year-old in America? It just doesn't link up.
No. Nope.
I mean, this is what we're dealing with. This is what constitutes our press corps any longer. And it's just, I'm to the point where I have to do this. I just have to point this crap out because, it's not like anybody's surprised. Oh my gosh, I had no idea our press did this, but we have to compile it. We have to show how many times this kind of nonsense goes on, because it's got to be stopped. They got to be defanged. These people are just flaming idiots, and they're dragging the country down with them. But it's what we are stuck with right now.
I'm not so sure that they're dragging the country so much down as they're keeping us there with this shit, because we're already down.
But look what's taking place on college campuses with all of these pro-Palestinian protests, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of crap they're fueling. And and people are, oh my gosh, I can't believe that people who protested are now losing their job opportunities. Like grad students are having companies come up and saying, that letter you just signed praising violence against Jews, that ain't going to fly with our company. So don't bother coming in after you graduate. And this upset the Washington Post.
Well,
there are other victims of the Israel war, according to them.
Well, here's the thing. The one thing that doesn't upset the Washington Post is Hamas attacking people, from what I understand.
So, and they're feeling bad for these people. Oh, all they did was go protest on behalf of Palestine after they murdered Jewish people. What's the matter? I don't understand.
Yeah, no, that's not all they did. Oh my God. They're unhinged. I swear to God.
Yeah, but like if you go to a college campus to give a speech about freedom of expression and the First Amendment.
Oh no, you get booed out or canceled.
You're threatening people. They feel unsafe. This is triggering, and we can't have this on campus because it's important for our students to feel safe. How about the Jewish students? Well, screw them. We don't care about them.
Yeah, we don't care about them. They don't count.
So the people in the Commons now chanting "Death to Israel." That's cool. That's not triggering anybody. That's not okay. I'm trying to get a measure of things here. So Riley Gaines trying to support women's volleyball. That's a bridge too far. We can't have that.
That's like totally triggering. No can do.
It's always one of the garbage arguments, though. Like, I love it when people say that. Well, they're saying, and a lot of us, we didn't really feel safe in the workplace any longer. They were on the Slack channel talking about this, and a lot of my coworkers and myself didn't feel safe because of someone in Slack. What? I mean, on a daily basis, I get called Florida man asshole at Red State Slack channel. It's just like, oh, do you need something? Yeah. What's up? I should go to the editors instead. I feel really triggered. I don't feel safe because somebody called me Florida man, and even though I'm in Florida, that's just very derogatory, and it dehumanizes me, and it makes me feel not like I'm in a welcoming environment. And can you make them stop?
I saw the funniest meme this morning, and it was posted by Tree Hugging Sis. She's over at PJ Media. That's where she writes, but she's also on X, and it's the it's Doge meme, and one side teens in 60 BC. And it shows a dog all pumped up, wearing gladiator stuff. And it says, I have returned from gladiator training and ready for my arranged marriage. And teens now. It shows the LGBTQIR, pipe flag. Mom, Timmy called me a he. And it cracks me up because it's like so true. It's like, we've had this discussion before. I am not going to observe your pronouns. That's not going to happen because I refer to you by your name. Okay, whatever your given name is, or whatever name you're calling yourself, that's how I'll refer to you. Then now the pronouns don't come into it. And so for anybody to say my pronouns are this and that, and you need to observe them, and I will say no, I don't, because you're enforcing your reality on my reality. And I have just as much right to enforce my reality on you. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, yes, I do. So that has been established with many people on my side of the pond. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, I gotta send that to all of my pronoun friends. And I did. I didn't even flinch. I was like, should I or should not? No. It was like, I'm sending that. I'm burning bridges if possible, but I am sending it. Nobody got offended. Everybody laughed, and everybody said, yeah, that's true. Even the people that have pronouns in their bio said, yeah, it's true. So, but it was
this whole pronoun thing is just,
yes.
I've never understood the importance of it. Why is this a priority? Because all you're doing is interrupting discourse.
It's not a priority. They want you to think that it's a priority. They want you to think that that is important when it isn't. What they are trying to destroy is the language. Once they destroy the language, then anything they say to establish the new forms of communication makes it the norm. That's why it's important. And this is why I tell everybody, language usually has a 500-year cycle. Right now, our cycle is less than 20 years. And that should worry everybody. Because whoever controls the language controls the narrative. Orwell warned about that. Huxley warned about that. So many other dystopian authors.
I'll just say good luck trying that crap on me.
Well, the thing is, at our age, yeah, we're not going to fall for that. But 20-year-olds? 20-year-olds are now telling me that to get with the times. And I'm like, you don't understand. You guys are the ones that need to get with the times. You guys are the ones outside of it because you think that what you're doing is normal, and it's not. And they all get mad at me, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Go cry. Argentina, whatever.
I mean, when they don't have facts on their side, they have to do this. They have to manipulate everything so they can turn it around so that they are the center then. It's like, I was reading something, it was Time Magazine. They were interviewing an author, a new book coming out. Had to note that their pronouns were air.
What?
EY or EIR. So remove the TH.
They removed the TH. What happened to the X, Zer, and Z?
Well, that's existing too, but this is a different one.
Why? Why is this even a thing? You're taking away letters now? Oh my God.
I mean, I spent like 2 minutes trying to figure. I was like, what could possibly be offensive or inaccurate about TH on a neutral, inclusive pronoun?
Ugh.
And what is the difference? Like, what are you achieving if you're a air now?
I swear, in a quest for people to be unique and different, they're all the same. They're all become the
That's
same.
all it is they need their designator. It's like, well, other people go by that, but I'm go
different.
by.
I'm special.
You can keep going too. Whatever you go by.
Keep fucking off that way.
I enjoyed it when they showed photographs of the shooter of that Christian school in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said their new pronoun was were.
Lord forgive me. Oh god.
Like, oh my god, that's brilliant. That is perfect. But hey, you were just speaking about Florida, weren't you?
Yes.
Segue, Latin.
I was earlier, so yes, it's a hell of a segue. But yeah, we're segueing to Florida.
Dateline, Tampa,
with my Florida man.
An investigation is underway in Florida after burglars made off with a bit of a heist at a distribution center.
A heist?
Yes. I think this qualifies. Using tractor trailers, they stole more than $1.6 million worth of alcohol from them, primarily Jose Cuervo and Malibu rum.
Whoa.
They say this happened like in the hours of like between 4 a.m. and 9 a.m. So, I'm thinking inside job because this would require keys to the loading bay, operating forklifts, keys to the truck, that kind of
yeah. Thing. Oh, yeah. It had to be somebody that had all the ins and outs of that place.
They removed 4,277 cases of liquor.
I'm sorry. I don't do math. Can you say that number again?
4,277.
Cases.
Cases, yes.
Not bottles. Cases.
Hang on. I'm slow on the uptake early. This is usually Ordy's bailiwick on our show, but over 51,000 bottles of liquor.
Oh, my word.
How many damn trucks did they take off with? Jeez. This is what I enjoy, though. Authorities believe there is a probable cause that they've used a search warrant, which was issued for an Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max. They believe that the phone in question contains specific information, technical data, and evidence.
Oh, yeah? Huh.
And they say the thieves also removed the digital video recording on premises.
Oh, this is totally an inside job.
Yeah. So that sounded like step 2. Mm-hmm. Step 1, break in. Step 2, go get the video footage and cut the camera feed. 3, get on a forklift and hurry up.
I mean, this is like, I bet it was, and they need the timing too. They had to have timed it, this whole thing. Because it went really, really smooth. They knew where everything was. They knew how to access everything. They knew what cords to cut. They knew everything.
Yeah, they say that they've got surveillance video from nearby businesses showing the trucks taking off. They later found additional video from a tractor trailer storage facility showing 3 of the trailers that were used. They're going to catch these guys, I'm sure.
Well, they're going to try.
It's a hell of a job you pull up there, I got to tell you.
I know, I'm just kind of stunned. I'm like, wow. It is rather impressive, actually. I'm stunned. That's a lot of liquor to haul away.
Well, now there's something we're going to have to keep an eye on to be impressed with.
What's that?
A gentleman by the name of John May from Britain has decided to set a goal for himself, and got to tell you, I'm all about this guy.
I'm listening.
He is pledging to drink 2,000 pints of beer within 200 days.
Oh my God, you found your spirit, buddy.
So, yeah, we're definitely going to keep tabs on this one.
Keep tabs. I'm surprised you're not like jumping in and saying, okay, I'm going to keep up with you. You know I'm right. You're actually thinking about it, aren't you?
Well, you know, there's a certain reality.
You are.
Well, it basically comes down to this. Like I said, keeping tabs. You got to be able to afford this, is my point. 10 pints of beer a day. I mean, physically, that's a challenge. But financially, who do you know? That's my question.
Yeah. I mean, that can get pricey. It's not like Germany where, you know, beer is cheaper than a soda. So.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're drinking garbage swill, you're looking at $30-$40 a day. So, yeah, I want to know who's financing this and where he's getting his stash. But more power to him, of course. I want to see him pull this off.
I want to see him survive it.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't think this is like Super Size Me where,
Right.
he's eating Big Macs for a month. This is a little different.
Yeah, this could seriously, if he's not careful, seriously damage his liver.
Indeed. But again, not all heroes wear bar aprons.
No, that is
this
true.
one does, but yeah, I want to see him pull it off. I want to see what happens afterwards. Probably even more interesting. But
well, Jeff and Rex think this is a cakewalk, and you knew they would. You knew they would. So
I'm gonna say he might have a loophole if he goes with Guinness, because that is either famously or not famously known to be a very low alcohol beer. So he could have 2 pints of Guinness, which would amount to 1 pint of a good microbrew. Just saying.
I'm just cracking up over this. I can imagine you doing this. It'd be like, dude, your liver.
Well, that's the thing is, it's not even about the accomplishment; it's about the after effects.
Yeah, I mean, you really, yeah, it's mostly that, actually. I mean, I'm sure the guy, if he is willing to go through this, I'm sure he can afford it. But I hope he has made peace with God and arrangements with his doctor.
Yeah. Dialysis and liver transplant are probably in his future, but hey, then we'll see. What do you have? Do you have any important information that's tickling your brain?
Well, actually, a lot of people were quite excited about a new discovery on the world's most famous woman, on the Mona Lisa.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Taylor Swift.
Oh, God, no. But she's up for commissioner of the league, so, watch for that. So anyway, I'm waiting for that to happen. I'm just waiting for that to happen because I mean the NFL is actually asking the channels that carry NFL games to promote her movie.
Oh yeah, they were
For free.
they were
And
pushing that out last week.
And I'm like, oh my God, this woman wields a lot of power. She's going to be the next commissioner. I know it. Well, it seems that a bunch of scientists got together to inspect the painting once again. For those of you not in the know, the Mona Lisa gets checked every 3 months or so for purposes of determining if there's any deterioration going on, if there's anything that's happening with the pigments that were used in the paints, the oils that Da Vinci used, etc. You know, just regular checkups, I guess you would call them. And they found a speck on the painting that nobody had seen before. Like, nobody noticed it. It's been there. It's not new. In other words, they just now noticed that there's this tiny speck of paint that really doesn't go with the rest of the paint that was used. You know, it kind of stands out if you're looking for it. It's very tiny. It's very minuscule. And so they decided to do some research on that tiny little speck and break down the chemical composition of the speck. And they found that it's different from the rest of the paint. And it has it has lead oxide in it. Now there are other painters that have used lead oxide in their paints, because it helps to dry the paint faster and it thickens the paint so it's not as watery like you would in a watercolor. So it, you know, a lot of, but he is the oldest, that is the oldest painting they have ever found this particular lead oxide compound in. So they were all excited about it. And, you know, they started, you know, they started to think, wow, he loved to experiment. And I'm like, well, no shit. This is the original Renaissance man. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't just a painter and a sculptor. I mean, he did everything. He was, I mean, he loved to learn new techniques. He was like what I'd like to call him the good Picasso, the nice Picasso, because he really was a nice person, you know. For him, it wasn't about competition with another painter or another rival. For him, it was about learning a new technique or using something new or finding out if it worked. And if it worked, he was done with it and he moved on to the next thing. It was about his curiosity. He really, really did that. And I have one of my precious books. I've actually bought it in Germany. And it's on all of the works of Leonardo da Vinci. That book is 3 inches thick. It is 14 inches tall and 10 inches wide. It is a very big book. It is my prized possession among all my other art books. And I could sit there and I can turn a page and I see everything that he has done. We sent one of his sketches with the Voyager, you know, and literally sending our nudes to the vast galaxy. Admittedly, we were sending nudes, but it was still his, you know. He actually had an idea about floating shoes. He had an idea about a helicopter. He had an idea about things that were so far ahead of the stuff that he could actually work with that he never actually got to apply. But it was all in his brain and he just wanted it out. And so he would sketch it and everything. And you and I were talking about, why is the Mona Lisa why is everybody so attracted to her? Blah, 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 blah. And I remember my art teacher, art appreciation. I'm not an artist by any stretch. But, people were asking, like, hey, she's kind of, she's plain. She's not that pretty, blah, 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 blah. Why do people like her and all that stuff? And my art teacher said something. It's the hands and the face, but not the prettiness of the face, but the musculature, the way the muscles are portrayed in the face that makes this painting in particular so attractive. And she went on to explain, hands are very difficult to paint. They're difficult to sketch. Look at how AI even now has trouble with doing hands and doing feet. They just can't, and AI cannot do it, well. And so, and if you look through a lot of his works, he himself had sketched hands in various poses because he needed to learn how to paint hands. It's not like he went to art school. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
These men, and believe it or not, women who are revered artists from way before art schools were a thing.
I don't believe you.
Oh, believe it. They didn't go to art school. There was no such thing for Leonardo to attend art school. So it's all self-taught. He had to be imaginative. He had to go looking for things, A lot of people don't know they used certain elements that we would consider dangerous to use today, like cadmium, cobalt, lead. All that was used in paints, and to achieve all of these beautiful colors. So I was not surprised that he had actually been already experimented with lead oxide. What surprises a lot of people is the fact that it was around back then. But, and lead oxide occurs in nature, that kind of thing. So,
well, now, was this little tiny pinpoint on the painting the only one that had the lead? Or did other aspects of it?
That's the only one that they tested for. They cannot test the whole painting because the process is very intensive and could potentially damage part of the art. So they only tested that part that they knew was different. So maybe later on they can come up with a test whereby they can actually look for it on a different type of scope with a different filter or something like that, and see if the entire painting is like that. And maybe some of his other paintings have it too. And it just happened to be that this particular spec stood out because it didn't match the other tincture in the other paint in the paint on that section. So who knows? Maybe some other parts of the painting have it, but I don't know if anybody has ever painted with oils. They take a long time to dry, and sometimes you're just like, I'm in a hurry. It's not like acrylics, and it's certainly not like watercolor. Watercolor just dries so quickly, and that's why you have to work very quickly with watercolor. But oils, you paint with oils, and you actually don't have to finish at that point. You just cover it with a damp cloth, or an oil cloth, and it keeps it fluid. It keeps it wet. So you can continue like 3 or 4 days later, and the paint is still wet. So I'm not surprised that he was looking for something that would dry the paint faster. They didn't have acrylics then.
Well, I'm not. I've never been a fan of the Mona Lisa. I just don't get it, I guess. I'm not the target audience. That'll be
I never found her to be particularly captivating until my teacher pointed out those specific traits. And then I went to specifically look for that, and I see what she meant. It is difficult to paint a smile. It's difficult to paint a smirk. It's difficult because the musculature in the face is, the human eye can see it, but it's difficult to actually interpret that on a canvas. So I understand that part of it. I don't understand why it's considered, be all and end all of beauty or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just saying, Venus rising from the waves, she was pretty hot compared to Mona Lisa.
Yeah. Plus, I always enjoyed the very fact that the one time the Mona Lisa was stolen at the Louvre, the foot traffic increased for people to come and look at the blank wall where it used to be hung.
I know.
Like, wait a second, more people showed up
And
after
it's not
it
a
got
big
stolen.
painting. It's not a big painting. It's relatively small.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it's like 10 by 14, maybe a little smaller than that, but so 9 by 12, I don't know, something like that. But it gets stolen, so people want to look at the blank space. I didn't get that either.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, hold on a second.
I'd be like really pissed off if I paid money to come to the Louvre and I paid money to go to France and I wanted to see it and it was gone. I'd be pissed off. I really would be upset.
Yeah, I don't get it. But, well, since we're apparently in the educational portion of our program, I want to sound smart too.
You have the smarticles. Can you tell the gin is starting to hit?
I just want to use my think muscle like you. So, so the study and research department here at the Cocktail Lounge, that's my job. What are the scientists up to now? How about this? They did a study on ice cream and potato chips and they basically have determined that they're as addictive as cocaine or heroin, researchers say.
Okay, so nobody can eat just one. Is actually true.
I suppose so. And it's, one of the other things I love about science, they just have to go with the acronyms. So they're talking about here ultra processed foods, or UPFs.
Nobody calls them that.
Stop. People in the business don't use that term, okay?
Oh, Lord.
So what do you do for a living, Brad? I'm a UPF representative in development research. Oh, my gosh, what does that mean? Shit food that's bad for you. That sounds disgusting. Well, yeah, of course it is. That's why we call them UPFs. Actually. I mean, it's a little, you got to elevate things a bit here, right? So my ultra-processed food department is dipshits. So UPFs are just as addictive as nicotine, cocaine, or heroin, according to the experts. More than 1 out of 10 people are hooked. That's 10% to you and me, Aggie.
Wow.
New analysis of 281 studies across 36 countries. Wow, we've really gone deep here. Uncovered a staggering 14% of adults are hooked on UPFs.
Well, I admit I love ice cream. I really do. And Lay's potato chips. Yeah, I can't eat just one. This is true. But if it's as addictive as heroin, you would think that there would be a huge, run on this stuff. I'm just saying. Yeah, because it's all over the counter. All you have to do is walk to the freezer section and get yourself a tub.
Well, yeah, they've eliminated the black market this way. But
true.
This is where my mind goes. You know how, since we're as addictive to heroin, you know how they have methadone clinics to get people off, to wean them off of heroin?
Yes.
So is that what a froyo store is?
Okay.
People come in with their government issued, because they're in the program, so the government gives them like ration cards. Just here,
Here's your ration card for your ice cream.
go to America's Best Yogurt, and we'll start to work you off of here gradually. Come on, as much as heroin.
Yeah. I can't see it simply. I just can't. I can't. Nope.
I mean, who are the people that are literally strung out on ice cream? Joe Biden not being included here.
The only reason that man eats ice cream is to shut him up.
Well, you see, it makes my tongue get all numb and I can't talk so good. Oh, yeah, let's blame the ice cream. Good idea. But, yeah, this is... UPFs are the new addiction, apparently.
Who knew? Not me. But now it explains so much about me, and I can actually honestly say, well, I'm just, it's an addiction. I'm sorry.
Can't be helped.
Can't be helped. Exactly.
I mean, Hunter Biden gets off the hook because, everybody's complaining about this, but he was addicted at the time. Sorry. How does that exonerate him? That was illegal activity too. Yeah, but he was strung out on coke and crack and everything else. You can't. It doesn't.
So
count.
even worse.
I'm going to try that out next time I get in trouble.
Yeah, it's amazing because if we were to say anything, if we were to have the same excuses as he does, we'd still be serving 5 to 10.
If you go before a judge and was like, yeah, look, I know I stole the car and set the playground on fire and, crashed it into the store, but I was addicted at the time it happened, Judge. You would get that gif of the black woman looking like, you fucking kidding me?
Yes, exactly.
No, Jay, I'm addicted to UPFs. So all this stuff here doesn't count. This is what I love, though. The finding that's shocking is that UPFs have previously been linked to cognitive decline, cancer, psychological distress, and even early death.
Wow. I got nothing.
I mean, what doesn't kill you?
I firmly believe everything is a carcinogen. Anything can cause cancer, even water. So it matters not what, but I can understand. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a processed food. It has certain additives that are, your body was not.
But ice cream isn't even ultra processed. It's got like
No.
ingredients.
I was talking about the chips, but yeah, no, the ice cream's fine. Especially if you just get, Breyers or something, which has, 4 ingredients and that's it.
Yeah. But like you said too, anything you pick up is going to be said to cause cancer. It's like, well, we studied laboratory rats and they became cancerous as a result. Okay, granted, the 5-ounce rat was fed 7 blizzards a day from DQ. Proportionately, okay. So yeah, the rat got cancer. I would have to eat 17 gallons of blizzard a day to equate what he took in, but let's go with that. Cancer, you break.
Man, what a day. And I just, oh God, what did I hear? Oh yeah. The U.S. Army base in Kerchik in Turkey is under attack right now. So, yay. This is escalating at the speed of whatever is faster than light. See, I should have asked Jeff while he was still here. He's over doing NaNoWriMo. So, but yeah. So that's another thing that's going on at the time. And this is what I try telling everybody. It's like, they're not stopping with the Israelis. This is basically Franz Ferdinand. Okay. That's what the Israeli campaign is. Franz Ferdinand, the first step. After that, all the dominoes are going to start to follow. Here you have an attack on an American base in Turkey. So, I don't know. But nobody listens to us, Brad. Nobody listens.
Sure they do. Look at all the people in chat.
And you know, this is true. This is true. 100% of the people who exhale carbon dioxide do die. Raptor is right. We got to give him props.
Well, if we're on the subject of food that's going to kill you, I may have found it. This is in Japan. One popular restaurant in Tokyo has garnered some attention after, I don't know if this appeared first on YouTube or if it's YouTube of the TV show that featured it, but in making the signature sauce for one of its dishes, porks on a skewer, they came to find out that this is a family-owned restaurant. I guess they've been, operating for generations. And they make the sauce for the skewer meat on a daily basis. Following an old family recipe, also following the family practice of never cleaning the pot that they make the sauce in. They just make a new batch and throw it in the same pot that they've been using forever. I gotta see if I can pull up a photo of this thing. 65 years they've been doing this without ever cleaning the cooking pot of their sauce.
I cannot. What? I would not be eating there at all. No.
I'm trying to think. You wanted to put this on television, huh? This is your way of advertising? I mean, they claim that I know they've done, of course, a study of some sort. Somewhere along the line, there was an experiment done where they took a pot of a couple gallons and then they put a pollutant in it, and then they would extract 80% of it and keep refilling it. And they found that after 35 or 36 times that basically whatever the pollutant was had been completely flushed clean. So this is safe. I'm going to go with no on that one. Yeah.
All the no's. Nopity nope. Nope.
I mean...
I mean, I've heard of seasoning, you seasoning a pot and everything, and then you don't use soap on it. You wipe it clean and, you use it again and blah, blah. I get that. I don't get this. This, I cannot process in my head. No. Nope.
I can see if I can pull it up here.
I can't.
There we go. God. Boom. I mean, we're talking a couple of feet of buildup around this thing. So basically, they make the sauce up, and then he'll cook the skewers, and then he dips it in the pot. So this looks like something from a bad movie.
No.
6 decades with the same pot, huh? That would drive. I don't care what you're making your cat skewered meat with, this isn't going to do it for me. I'm sorry.
Skewer.
Yeesh.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah. And on that note, I think we should wrap up before I hurl.
Yep. See you next week on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Cholera.
All right. Okay, Brad. With that, let's wrap up. Where can we find you?
I can be found on a daily basis over at townhall.com with my daily media column there called Rift from the headlines, but also on the front page of Red State on a near daily basis, where I also got my twice weekly podcast there called Liable Sources, diving even deeper into the muck that is our mainstream media. And you can hear me on this very network as well. This coming Thursday night, I'm going to be here with Ordy Packard, delivering all the vital and important entertainment information on the culture shift. Hint, probably some Taylor Swift information.
I should tune in.
I just want to get that out there so the Swifties start tuning in like they're doing with the NFL.
Of course, yeah.
Got to pump them numbers up.
Yep.
And then alternate Thursdays, I'm here with Paul Young from ScreenRant.com as we go through the dark side of Hollywood and bad movies on disasters in the making. And, of course, every Tuesday here at 8:30 for the Cocktail Lounge with Aggie Reekin. And if you need more of me than that, let's face it, you do. Head over to Twitter. Really? I am at Martini Shark. So, how about you, Aggie? Where can people find more of your magnificence?
Well, you can find me at Aggie Reekin and at Aggie the Barkeep over on X. You can also find me here, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday nights, doing the Cocktail Lounge with the ever suave you. Friday nights, doing 8:30 p.m. Eastern, doing He Said, She Said. Of late with my great producer, Rick. Hoping to do that this Friday as well. And once a month, we do Toxic Masculinity, last Wednesday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's you can join G, Rick, Ordy, and myself as I bring the drinks. So thank you so much for joining us, y'all, and we hope you have a lovely evening.
Go raise a glass and look at the ceiling.